to make my life, to maintain myself. Vina dainyena jivanam. Let me not become so weak so that I go and ask somebody for something to maintain myself. And these are the two wishes. Anayasena maranam, that is number one. Vina dainyena jivanam, that is number two. And he prays Shiva, Mahesha Kripaya Dehi, O Shiva, please give me Tvai Bhakti Machanchala. Unbroken devotion in you, you just give me, he says. That's one of the greatest prayers. It's not a prayer from Bhagavad Gita. It is a mantra told at the end of the puja. You ask for so many things. Give me this, give me this, give me this, give me this, and so on. There is no end to our desires. But lastly, ends, at least give me this. Anayasena maranam, vina dainyena jivanam, Mahesha Kripaya Dehi, Tvai Bhakti Machanchala. You give me unwavering bhakti in you, my dear Shiva. So this is the prayer. And Krishna gives a training to Arjuna and to those who have come to understand Bhagavad Gita through him. What should one do at the time of leaving the body? Some may ask, we are still young, sir. Why do we know this? Why should we know this? It may not be useful now, but knowing is not wrong. One can know it. Old age people, they need to know because we do not know. I usually jokingly say, there is an expiry date written on each one of us. But it is so blurred. You can see 20, it's right. And the next letters you cannot say what they are. Is it 2025 or 2030 or 2040, 2050, 20? You do not know, you cannot read it. So blurred, it has all been rubbed, not clearly written. Therefore, everyone needs to know, more so with the old people or people who are in deathbeds. Krishna said in the previous chapter, Jara Marana Mokshaya Mamashrityatantiye, that is, for all old age, disease, and death, whoever depends on me, he will understand Brahma, Karma, Adhyatma, Aditbhuta, Adideva, Adiyajna, and he had also told in the previous chapter, Prayanakale, he will also know me, Prayanakale. Prayanakale means while leaving the body, he will remember. It is said that the greatness of a man is known only when he dies. If you can take the name of God and die, you can take for granted he has liberated himself. But if he is still searching for money under his pillow, or asking for something to eat, or asking for something to live in a big house, to money and so on and so forth, he has to be born again and again to satisfy his desire. A perfect man completed all his activities without ego and offered at the feet of God. Yajnashishta, that is what Krishna said to us earlier. Offered it, whatever comes as prasada, he has eaten. Or he only worked for Atma Shuddhi, which are the terms I am referring to the old chapters. Or he works like a Loka Sangraha for the good of all. Or he works like Padmapatra Mimambasa. Like a lotus leaf, he doesn't attach to the activities, still active as a lotus leaf holds water, but never touches water. Water cannot touch the leaf at all. That is what is called a detached attachment. That is what Krishna has told us to practice. So those who have surrendered to me will come back to me. That is what he had said. And here is a training which he gives to Arjuna. What should he do to understand this? Yet another thing I usually say, what is God like? Those who have come to Bhagavad Gita know God is not something in the body sitting in a temple. Temples are good places for us to worship, that's okay. But where is he? He is all pervasive. Same time he is in US and in India and Bangalore and Shimoga, wherever it is you are from. Sarvantriyami. But we cannot have a formless God in our mind, you see, because our minds are so limited. We have to take a form in form of Krishna, Rama, Shiva, Durga, so on and so forth. So this formless God, I usually tell a story. There is a school for the blind. There were many students in the classroom. If you are in some part of South India where elephants are brought near the house, you will know it. They bring elephants on the roads to take alms for the elephant and also to the mouths. When elephant comes, there is a big bell tied to his neck. It will make a dignified sound, dun, 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 dun. The blind school children heard the sound. They had told by their parents when elephants come, that sound would come from the bell that is hung to their necks. So they asked the teacher, sir, take us to the elephant. We want to see the elephant. How can they see? God has given wonderful capacity to human beings, which you must understand. Those who cannot see can see the letters in braille. Touch of the finger will make them read as we read any other book. They can read the braille writings. So they can touch and understand what is there. So the principal of the school went to the man who brought elephant, asked the elephant to be stopped in front of the school. He brought children, allowed them to go near the elephant. Elephant was a tamed one, so it stood as if a stone. One boy touched the trunk of the elephant. Another touched the body of the elephant, which looked like a wall. Another touched the ear of the elephant. It resembled like something that we use for removing the husk from the seeds. Everybody looked. Another looked at the tusk of the elephant. He touched it and he thought, oh, there are two piercing sword-like things. So after that, they said, I know elephant. Elephant is like a wall, one said. I touched it end to end. A wall-like thing elephant is. The boy who touched the tail said, oh, it's just like a small rope moving this way and that way. And another said, it is like a pillar. He had touched the leg of the elephant. It looked like a pillar that we had in his schools. Were they right or wrong? They were all right. Everybody was right. But complete picture was different. So our concept of God, when we have a form, it is perfectly fine. You can worship him as Shiva, Krishna, Durga, Ganesha, anybody. But ultimately, what he is all-pervasive God. You remember the 7th chapter, another shloka. Para and apara, there are two prakritis, he said. Ultimately said, both of them are me only. That is, we are all expression of that cosmic consciousness, like different flowers on the same tree. So here he gives a beautiful example, how to leave the body. But Arjuna asked the question here in the beginning. The chapter is called, chapter 8, it's called Akshara Brahma Yoga. That is imperishable Brahma, eternal Brahma. Arjuna Vacha. Krishna had used these terms in the previous chapter, which you all know, but I had not explained. Let us see to it in the next batch. I had also told you. Kim tad Brahma, kim adhyatmam, kim karma purushottama, adibhutancha kim proktam, adidaivam kimuchyate. Beautiful question by Arjuna. All these words you must know that Krishna had used in the previous chapter. Arjuna is asking, what is that Brahman you said, Krishna? Kim tad Brahma? What is that Brahma you said? Kim Adhyatma? What is called Adhyatma? Again, another question which he had used in the previous chapter. Arjuna remembers it and asks, Kim Karma? What do you mean by Karma? Three questions he asked. What is Brahma? What is Adhyatma? What is Karma? There are three things mentioned. You have to underline three. Brahma, Adhyatma, Karma. He is asking Purushottama, that is the word for Krishna in this shloka. Adibhutam cha kim proktam. What do we call Adibhuta? To which do we refer to as Adibhuta here? Adibhutam, that is the fourth one. Adibhutam cha kim proktam. And the next one, Adidaivam kimuchyate. To which we call Adidaiva Purushottama, tell me. Krishna, tell me. Beautiful. All the words Krishna had mentioned in the previous chapter. Arjuna repeats all the words. Kim tad Brahma? What is that Brahma? Kim Adhyatmam? What is that Adhyatma you said? Kim Karma Purushottama? Purushottama, what do you mean when you mention the word karma? Adibhutancha kim proktam. For which you say Adibhuta, Adidaivam kimuchyate. For which one you will say Adidaiva, please explain me. Purushottama, he is asking to Krishna. I think we can recite. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Sangeeta? Hello? Sangeeta, are you there?
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha.
Oh, good Shruti. I was searching for you. Atha Ashtamodhyayah.
Ata Ashtamodhyayah.
Akshara Brahma Yogaha.
Akshara Brahma Yogaha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Arjuna Uvacha.
Kim tad Brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim tad Brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim karma purushottama.
Kim karma purushottama.
Adibhutancha kim proktam.
Adibhutam cha kim proktam.
Adidaivam kimuchyate.
Adidaivam kimuchyate.
Kim tad Brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim tad Brahma kim adhyatmam.
Kim karma purushottama.
Kim karma purushottama.
Adibhutancha kim proktam.
Adibhutam cha kim proktam.
Adidaivam kimuchyate.
Adidaivam kimuchyate.
Those are the questions which Arjuna asked to Krishna. Next shloka is also question, so we'll take the next question. Adiyajnam katam kotra dehesmin madhusudana. Prayana kale katam jnayosi niyatatvabihi. In this shloka he asks, addressing Krishna as Madhusudana, Adiyajnam katam kotraha. Where is Adiyajna in this body? Adiyajnam katam kotra dehesmin. In this body there is Adiyajna. Arjuna knew that what he had said. Adiyajnam katam kotra. Where is he? What is he? Katam kotra. Where does he reside? In this body. Dehe. Dehesmin Madhusudana. Madhusudana, where does Adiyajna stay in the body? And also the last question, Prayana kale cha katam jnayosi niyatatvabihi. Underline that one. How do people know you? People with sadhana know you at the time of departure. One of the best questions that Arjuna asked for us. What is the way of knowing you at the time of death? I think you know the story of Ajamila. Ajamila was, it is in Bhagavata. Ajamila was a wretched man, but still he could take the name of God at the time of his death. And therefore he got moksha, that is what Bhagavata says. We name our children with God's names, Rama, Krishna, Govinda, etc. A big merchant was there in a big town, say your town. Let you have an intimacy with that man. He a big merchant of your time was there. He had named 2-3 of his children, Rama, Krishna, and Govinda. All the three were working in their own shop in a joint family. The father of Rama, Krishna, and Govinda, the Yajman, owner of the shop, became seriously ill. We name our children with a good purpose. At the time of his death, if we call Rama, Krishna, or Govinda, whatever name you have named it, if it refers to some god, that will give you mukti, as in the case of Ajamila. So he had named Rama, Krishna, Govinda, so that if he took anyone's name, he would be getting liberated. And he was very serious as this wish to bring his call his children. All the three came. He looked at all the three. Instead of calling either Rama or Krishna or Govinda, he suddenly got a doubt the boys might have come without closing the shop. So he became angry and said, "You Yasas." Saying so, he died. Naturally, he became an ass in the next life. Whatever we remember at the time of, that's why we say the greatness of the Sharanas can be seen at the time of their death. You will have seen it in your families also. Some people are very great. They ask you to do a puja in the house. They ask you to recite a particular mantra in the house. While it is going on, coolly they close. So here, he asks, Prayana kale katam jneyosi niyatatmabhi. How do people who have control over themselves, niyatatma, jnanis, see you at the time of leaving the body? So what are the questions? Kim tad brahma 1, kim adhyatmam 2, kim karma 3, adibhutam kim, adidaiva kim. There are 5 there. Adiyagnam 6, and the last one, how can a man know you at the time of death? How can a man, how can a person, woman also take as a common gender, there the usage is, how can a person know a god at the time of death? By the people who control over their senses. These are the questions which have been asked. I think we can recite the second shloka also. Adhiyagnam katam kotra
Adhiyagnam katham kotra
dehesmin madhusudana
dehesmin madhusudana
prayanakale cha katam
prayanakale cha katham
jneyosi niyatatmabhihi
niyosi niyatatmabhihi
adhiyagnam katam kotra
adhiyagnah katham kotra
dehesmin madhusudana
dehesmin madhusudana
prayanakale cha katam
prayanakale cha katham
jneyosi niyatatmabhihi.
niyosi niyatatmabhihi.
So Arjuna's questions are over. Bhagavan has to answer. Krishna has to answer all the 7 or 8 questions which he has asked, and Krishna begins to give the answer. One thing you can observe in Bhagavad Gita, whenever Arjuna asks a question, without going roundabout, straight away Krishna gives the answer. That is one greatness of Bhagavad Gita. I watch TV discussions every day with our political leaders. They will go roundabout, or never come to the subject, some of them, because they cannot come there at all. You ask something, they will be saying something to spend the time. Not like that. For Krishna, when there is a question, there must be a sudden, direct answer. Aksharam Brahma Paramam. Krishna's answer begins, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Aksharam Brahma Paramam, Swabhavo Adhyatma Uchyate. Krishna has begun that cosmic consciousness, which doesn't end, endless, that is limitless cosmic consciousness, which is we call God, is Parabrahma, Aksharam Brahma Paramam. No. And then Bhagavan, what is the limitless and not subject to change is Brahman. That doesn't change at all. We all change. I was a baby when I was born, becoming old, and one day the body also will go. There will be change. But there is one thing that doesn't change in each one of us, which you all know. That is the cosmic consciousness within each one of us. Aksharam Brahma Paramam Swabhavo Adhyatma Uchyate. And centered on the body, it is called Adhyatma. Bhuta Bhavodbhavakara Visargaha Karma Sangitaha. The production of bodies, we have seen Dharma Viruddha Bhuteshu Kamosmi Bhartashabha, the 11th shloka of 7th chapter. You remember that, I hope. It's God's desire that we begin to like the opposites. A boy likes a girl likes a boy. It happens throughout the world. Even it is there in the plant world, I am told. In plants also, there are male particles and the female particles, either a bee or a wind will make them fruit ultimately. So that activity is called karma by, it is happening not because of us. The desire is given by body, by Bhagavan himself to each living being. I told you, if we do not get a desire for 10 years for the opposite, the world would stop. So that is also a God's desire. Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha, that is creation of the new bodies by the living beings or the plants. Look at the beauty of the plant. A coconut tree grows up to the height of 60-70 feet. Look the beauty of the God's creation. When it ripens, it falls down from the 70 feet or 80 feet, whatever is the height of the tree. But it has got such a cover, such a beautiful cover, it falls and goes to some other part. If it falls on a small stone, it will go some 50 feet away. Why did the tree make it fall there? It's a method of spreading the new generation for the tree. Of the thousands of coconut tree it makes, has a desire that one will sprout and become a tree there. And there are certain trees. In our garden also there are one or two. They produce lakhs of seeds and they spread in the air wherever they may go in the flowing wind. What is the purpose? Tree has a purpose. It wants to continue its breed. Some seed would reach some place where it will sprout and become a tree. So is the case with our fruits. Say for a jackfruit or a mango, why it is so tasty? It wants to continue its generation. Some cow would eat and ultimately it would come back in the dung the next day. some monkey will eat and take it to the other tree and drop the seed of that mango somewhere in some spot. And that will sprout. So we cannot say that just because we only are thinking beings, there is no thinking. I am seeing a creeper, a flower creeper which is there, brings a small unit like this and swirls around a certain object so that it can maintain itself. Who told you? Isn't there a plan there? Definitely there is. Every living being has a plan. He says this producing of the new species, the desire to produce of this new species, that also covers other things. To produce food and other things, maintenance, house and other, all things come under this group. It is called karma. Bhuta bhavodbhava visargaha karma sangitaha. This is karma according to Krishna. What are the things he explained? Akshara, the endless Brahman, and Swabhava in the body, centered in the body is Swabhava, and Bhuta Bhavodbhava Kara Visargaha Karma. That is the creation of the new species in anything. Plants, flowers, human beings, animals is called karma, he says. I think we can recite that one. Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Shri Bhagavanuvacha.
Aksharam Brahma Paramam.
Aksharam Brahma Paramam.
Svabhavodhyatma Uchyate.
Svabhavodhyatma Muchyate.
Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha.
Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha.
Visarga Karma Sangitaha.
Visargah Karma Sangnitaha.
Aksharam Brahma Paramam.
Aksharam Brahma Paramam.
Svabhavodhyatma Uchyate.
Svabhavodhyatma Muchyate.
Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha.
Bhuta Bhavodbhavakaraha.
Visarga Karma Sangitaha.
Visargah Karma Sangnitaha.
Other things which Krishna has to answer. Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavaha Purushasthadi Daivatam Adiyajnam Ahamevatra Dehe Deha Mrutambara. And he said, Adibhutam Ksharo Bhavaha. All living beings which have a short life is called Adibhuta. Beings that are subject to birth and death are called Adibhuta. We are all Adibhuta from that point of view. Adibhutam Ksharobhava. Kshara means that which dies. Whatever dies is called Adibhuta. Purushasthadi Daivatam. But the Sakshi that is there is called Adidaivatam. Adiyajno Ahamevatra. And then he says, I am Adiyajna, the self in each human being, Dehe Deha Pratambara. He says, Deha Pratambara is an address to Arjuna. Among the bodied, the highest. Deha Pratambara. So he clarifies, Adibhutam Ksharobhavaha. Arjuna, the most exalted among the bodies, what is centered on beings is that which is subject to decline, and what is centered on Devata is Hiranyagarbha. That's what the person says. Here, in this body, I am alone what is centered on the ritual. I am there in each body as Adiyajna, and I am called Adiyajna in the body. Now, and Krishna also explained it in such a way that how is it, sir? It is. I try to explain it in very simple method. You have seen the 4th and 5th shloka of 7th chapter. Is it there? He says, I am both para and apara. Sangeeta? 4th and 5th, is it?
Yes.
Yeah. 4th and 5th he said. But here he says these things. So my analysis is, when everything is Krishna, It is like a mono act of Krishna that we are all here. So he says, when I am here, I am Rama. When I am here, I am Lakshmana. When I stand there, I am Sita. When I am here, I am Anjaneya. When I stand there, I am Bharata, Shatrugna, whatever is necessary in a mono-acting drama. So in this mono-acting drama of this cosmic consciousness, at different places they have called, they are called by different names. That's all. Ultimately, what exists is nothing but himself. The cosmic consciousness, or what we call God, Brahman. That is there everywhere. At particular places, it has a different name. This place, it's called Adibhuta. In this place, it's called Adiyajna. And at this spot, it's called Adidaiva. And at this called, it is called Adibhuta, Karma, and so on. So, it must be clear for us. Krishna says these are different names at different areas where Krishna exists in our body. That will clear it out. And a beautiful example in other thing is called water in cloud. It's in the vapor form. In water, it is liquid form. Ice, it is in vapor. So when it is in solid form, we call it ice. Liquid form, we call it cloud. Or atmosphere also, we have a lot of water running around us. When you breathe, you also breathe water in. Much of us may not be knowing it, but we do breathe in water, small particle of water. Those who live by the seaside will be getting more vaporized air. So it has different names at different places. Same thing happens when Krishna says these seven things: Adibhuta, Adidaiva, Adiyajna, and Karma, etc. So that will make us clear. I think we can recite this shloka. Adibhutam ksharo bhavaha
अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः
purusaschadidaivatam
पुरुषश्चाधिदैवतम्
adiyajno ahamevatra
अधियज्ञो अहमेवात्र
dehe dehavrutam mura
देहे देहभृतां वरा
adibhutam ksharo bhavaha
अधिभूतं क्षरो भावः
purusaschadidaivatam
पुरुषश्चाधिदैवतम्
adiyajno ahamevatra
अधियज्ञो अहमेवात्र
dehe dehavrutam mura.
देहे देहभृतां वरा.
Dehe Dehabhrutamura means Dehabhrutamura is an address to Arjuna, the greatest of the embodied souls. And he says the another question he has not answered in the two shlokas earlier, which is one: how do men remember you at the time of death? Antakale cha mamema swaranmuktva kalevaram. Underline that line. Whoever remembers me at the Antakala, where he is to leave the body, yaprayati samadbhavam yati natyatra samshaya. Underline entire shloka. He will come to me. Whoever remembers me at the Antakala, at the time of living body, with concentrated mind, nothing other than the name of God, and totally surrenders to God and leaves the body, yaprayati samadbhavam. One who leaves the yaprayati means one who leaves that body, second line, first word. Madbhavam yati natyatra samshaya. He will come to me, there is no doubt at all. I told you the story of Ajamila. I told you the story of Markandeya. So if you remember me at the time of your leaving the body, you will come to me, no doubt about it. Natyatra samshaya, it says. There is no doubt in this. I will promise. If you can remember me, you will come to me. If you can remember me, by the time you leave your body, however the pain the man or woman may have at the time of leaving the body, if he can remember God and leave it, that's the last life for him. He will be a mukta. That's what Krishna says. Antakale cha mamiva. Antakala is, all of you know the meaning, ending time. That is physical body dying time. Antakale cha mamiva smaran muktva kalevaram. Remembering who lives the kalevara. Kalevara it is called. I think all languages have the same one. Dead body is called kalevara. It is called kalevara in Kannada. Dead body. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. Even at the end of his life, if a person remembers me and leaves his body, yaprayati samadbhavam, that man will come to me. Yati nastyatra samshaya. You need not have any doubt at all, he will come to me. Another beautiful shloka for you to understand. Let's recite. Antakale cha mameva.
Antakale cha mameva.
Maran muktva kalevaram.
Maran muktva kalevaram.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
Yati nastyatra samshaya.
Yati nastyatra sanshayah.
Antakale cha mameva.
Antakale cha mameva.
Maran muktva kalevaram.
Maran muktva kalevaram.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
Yaprayati samadbhavam.
Yati natyatra samshayah.
Yati nastyatra sanshayah.
Till tomorrow morning, reflect over, could this be possible? Is there anything that we could do before we leave the body? Reflect over it, and you will get the answer of Krishna tomorrow. We will go to the prayer. Sangeeta, you can recite.
Okay. Yadyad vibhuti matsattvam srimadurjitameva va tattadeva vagachatvam mama tejonsha sambhavam.